Hello. Come with me on a journey. I'm 4 years old. I'm anxious, and I'm scared, and I'm fearful. I'm lacking the support and the guidance that I need. I'm praying every night before I go to sleep, not to have nightmares. I'm praying to be smarter. I'm praying to understand why this is happening to me. As I go through my preteens, I lack the understanding and clarity of why I have the lack of support and guidance from the parents that I was given. And I'm trying to figure this out. I continue to pray for hope and understanding as I continue to grow. I'm a teenager, and it only gets worse. My self-destructive ways, black and white thinking, anxious thoughts continue. No peace in my mind, no peace in my heart. And when I say I pray, I'm literally praying to the only person I know, and that is God. I don't have parents or friends that I can talk to. As a dancer, I learned at an early age how to hide behind the mask, behind a facade, which only left me feeling more alone. Over 3 decades, I would have unhealthy relationships and continue to hurt myself. I continued to ask why. What was the purpose in this? Now it's 2008. Another very difficult year, my cup overspilling. I have 3 children. I have 3 years of sobriety under my belt. And I attempt to take my life. Most people couldn't understand it, but they weren't living with what I was living with inside. However, obviously I lived. But at that moment, I decided I was committing myself for a different way, a better way to cope, replacing my negative thoughts, replacing my negative coping skills. I sought out mentors, people I trusted, advisors, therapists, doctors. I created my own circle of support. I continued to advocate for myself. And in the next 2 years, I would discover why that all happened. Before I share how I found my purpose, I want to share a video with you. And in this video, I ask that you just open your mind and your hearts to hear it and see it.
What makes you itch? What sort of a situation would you like? Let's suppose, I do this often in vocational guidance of students. They come to me and say, well, we're getting out of college and we haven't the faintest idea what we want to do. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Well, it's so amazing. As a result of our kind of educational system, crowds of students say, well, we'd like to be painters, we'd like to be poets, we'd like to be writers, but as everybody knows, you can't earn any money that way. Or another person says, well, I'd like to live an out-of-doors life and ride horses. I say, do you want to teach in a riding school? Let's go through with it. What do you want to do? When we finally got down to something which the individual says he really wants to do, I will say to him, you do that. And forget the money. Because if you say that getting the money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. You'll be doing things you don't like doing in order to go on living, that is, to go on doing things you don't like doing, which is stupid. Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way. And after all, if you do really like what you're doing, it doesn't matter what it is, you can eventually you can eventually become a master of it. The only way to become a master of something is to be really with it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. So don't worry too much. Somebody's interested in everything. And anything you can be interested in, you'll find others will. But it's absolutely stupid to spend your time doing things you don't like in order to go on spending things you don't like and doing things you don't like, and to teach your children to follow in the same track. See, what we're doing is we're bringing up children to educate them to live the same sort of lives we're living, in order that they may justify themselves and find satisfaction in life by bringing up their children, to bring up their children to do the same thing, so it's all wretch and no vomit. It never gets there. And so, therefore, it's so important to consider this question: what do I desire?
One of the keys to my success was, even as a little girl struggling and suffering, I always wanted to believe that anything was possible and that I would eventually have peace. So one thing I do want to leave you with today is never put constraints and always believe that anything is possible. Sometimes we're not sure of the direction to go, and I love to refer to Alice in Wonderland. When she gets to the fork in the road, she says, "Which way do I go?" And Cheshire Cat says, "Well, where are you going?" She says, "I don't know." And he says, "Then it doesn't matter." It's really important, I found for myself, to allow myself to dream big. I continue to ask for my purpose to be revealed. And the first thing that helped, in addition to believing that anything was possible, was defining what my values were and what my priorities in life were. One exercise that I use for myself is called a mind map. And you can do this with me right now. Ask yourself, what does health and fitness or wellness mean to you? What does your family or your faith mean to you? What does having purpose mean to you? I also use the wheel of life, a priority wheel. Priorities such as family, faith, work, fun, recreation. And I take a helicopter view and zoom out, looking at that pie chart to see where are my priorities at. And you know, when life is throwing you those curveballs and your road is getting bumpy, sometimes we ask ourselves, or we say, well, they're doing it, or I've got a black cloud over my head, or I'm trying to do it all right. I found when I took a look at myself that I realized some of those times my priorities were messed up. And having that wheel helped me put things into perspective. Then I was able to go on to the next step. I use this SMART template often. I teach this on a regular basis. A SMART goal, and I add an I for inspiration, is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound, and inspirational. A specific goal is the who, why, what, and where, and when. Why do you want that goal? How do you want to achieve it? When do you want to achieve it? It's measurable. It's important to be able to track your goals with milestones and that your goal has an end result. I found that I had to believe my goal was achievable, therefore attainable. and that it would be relevant to my mission and vision, which I found through understanding my values and my priorities. And obviously, living with purpose and intention had to be inspirational in everything that I did. I then took all of that, my goals, my mission, my vision, my values, and I laid it out on a vision board. And I attracted the things that I wanted. I created the life in my home with my daughters, the peace. If I let my circumstances and my anxiety stop me, I wouldn't be here today. I still have anxiety. I wouldn't lie to you about that. But what I figured out was how to manage that. And I manage that because I have a goal and a purpose. And I believe that if we take our purpose and our intention and we seize that in every moment in your day, we can make the best life and create any opportunity we want. So one last thing I will leave you with is take your 2 fingers, place them on your wrist. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. And seize that in every moment. Thank you.